All right, our chapter 5 test is, what is this coming Friday, you guys, the 8th? Yeah. Just don't forget that the rest of this review, we're doing 1 through 14 right now. 15 to 23 is going to be due on Thursday. Yeah, our test is on Friday. This classify idea, you won't come into the test with any notes, so make sure that I'll tell you as we go through the review what parts of the review and what things I will provide for you, but you won't come into the test with any notes. In number 1, the classification, this is an isosceles triangle, and all of its angles are acute. This number 1 would be an isosceles acute. I know it's isosceles because the markings. In number 2 and 3, this is that exterior angles theorem. The exterior angle theorem will be on the front page of your test for you. That's the one that tells us that this outside angle is equal to the sum of the two angles inside, that it doesn't touch. The non-adjacent angles inside add to the sum of this exterior. What did you guys get for this one? Ends in 2, 132, 132 degrees. Oops, that should be a degree symbol. Number 3, same idea. This exterior angle out here is equal to the sum of the two inside. So what we have is 9x plus 9 equals the 45 plus 5x. It equals the sum of the two angles that it doesn't touch. If I take 5x's away from both sides, 4x plus 9 equals 45. If I take 9 away from both sides, 4x equals 36. When I divide by 4, x is 8. Now with this one though, they do say find the measure of the exterior angle. So once I know that x is 8, I have to go plug it into that 9x plus 9 they gave me, because that's the exterior side. So that measure, plug in this 8 in, 9 times 8 plus 9, plugging it in. 9 times 8 plus 9 should be 81 degrees for the exterior angle. Now, somebody watching this might be like, wow, that lady's doing it really fast. This was assigned last week, so if you're struggling to keep up, that means that you haven't done it yourself, and this assignment 1 through 14 should be attempted here. Yeah. No. Yeah. Should have been 9? All right, quick catch. Thank you. Ha, making sure you're all paying attention. So 9, so what is that, 100? Is it 100? 90. Okay. There we go. All right, easy enough. Thank you. Anyhow, I had to use it. Just make that adjustment. Now, in number 4, we go away from that exterior angle theorem, and this says find the measure of each acute angle. And there's a triangle sum corollary that says when you have a right triangle, the other two angles are equal to 90 degrees. So that puts us at 15x equals 90. Check my math, you guys. I have a calculator open. I haven't touched it, obviously. How many times does 15 go into 90? 6. And then it says find the measure of each acute angle. So then I'd have to go and say, all right, using this 6, one of my angles is 8 times 6, which is 48. One of my angles is 7 times 6, and that's 42. Make sure you're finishing these up with the actual answers for what those angles are. Problem 5, they put us in another right triangle on 5, so we just have to add together the two parts to get 90 degrees there. So on 5, we're looking at 7x plus 6 plus that 6x minus 7 is equal to 90. My first job on the left side is just gathering up like terms. 7 and 6 x's is 13. I'm not undoing anything yet. I'm just putting together the things that are like. 6 minus 7 is where my minus 1 came from. When I add 1 to both sides, I get 13x equals 91. I do not know what 91 divided by 13 is. 7? Okay, and then again, you go plug it in. So even though this is my answer, I have to finish by putting it into those quantities. So one of them was 7x plus 6, so that's going to be 7 times 7 plus 6. That's going to be 55. And then the other one was 6x, so 6 times 7 minus 7, that's going to be 35. 55 and 35 add to 90 degrees. Going on to problem 6, and again, anybody watching this is like, that lady's going really fast. Well, yeah, because this is not time number 1. Anybody looking at this video should come with attempts. In number 6, I have the diagrams for all of the for the 2 pairs, but I'm gonna move my paper up here. Identify all pairs of congruent corresponding parts. I like to start with the angles. Angles are the easiest to see because it's just matching up the letters in the congruent statement. G is congruent to L, H is congruent to M. So GHJK. I'm going to take GHJK down this side. J is congruent to angle N. And then K would be congruent to angle P. Then I go back in, and even though all the sides aren't marked, we already know that they're congruent. So to get side pairs, I just have to match up the corresponding parts, GH and LM. And then I can do KJ, segment KJ, and segment PN. And then the ones that don't have marks are going to be our GK and LP, GK congruent to LP, and then HJ and MN, HJ congruent to MN. Make sure that you have all your, this is something that I did some minor highlights on quizzes, but make sure that you have segment notation above all of your sides. Make sure you have angle notation out in front of all of your angles, and do these all look like the congruent symbol? I'm not going to go easy on that grading because I'm talking about it here, and I've already highlighted things like that on quizzes. The last piece of this is to write another congruent statement, and I had the most questions about this. To write another congruent statement, this is already a congruent statement. All you have to do is rearrange the letters. And honestly, the easiest thing to do, I think, is just write them backwards or start with the second letter and move around. So HJK, put the G on the end. LMN, MNP, put the L on the end. Something where you rearrange the letters, but you still keep them matching up with the angles they correspond to. So that was all problem 6. Now with 7, I'm going to actually do this one right here on my paper because it makes more sense to look at what's here. In 7, we've got angle U and angle R marked as 90 degrees. I like just drawing into my figure what those are. Angle S is 74. Angle S and angle T are congruent by the marks. And so just looking at the drawing then, I have find the measure of angle V. Well, angle V is going to be, one of the angles is 90. The measure of angle V is going to be
74.
Nope, because T is 74. It's going to be 90 minus that 74. It's going to be what's left. It's the 16. Not really. Actually, not at all. Not at all, really. I should have said not at all, really. So make your drawings, maybe match that up. It'll be a little bit better with that one. I'm going to break this video into 2 parts. I'll do the 5-3, 5-4 in another segment.